So you can either select the whole object and then click on the trim command, that it's the scissors on the modify panel, this one here, or you can type TRIM, and then click enter, and then you can delete that, okay? Now, the other way that you can do that is if you have your ortho mode on and your snaps on, you can select that line, click the top end, and then drag it to the other end, okay? So once you have that set up, we're gonna continue doing the squares that go on the center with your logos. So I'm gonna click on line one more time and start creating the logos. The square for the logo, sorry. So the squares are 2 inches high and wide. So I'm gonna click on line, and then I'm gonna click on my screen, and I'm gonna type 2 inches, and then click enter. I'm gonna type 2 inches one more time, click enter. Last time, and then I'm gonna finish my square. So on the example sheet, there's one inner square that is offset at 0.15 inches. So I'm gonna select my square, and I'm gonna click offset, and then it's gonna ask you specify offset or distance. So I'm gonna type 0.15 inches. Now I'm gonna offset my square, okay? Now, there's some leftovers on the corners, and you can either grab the line and drag it to the center, or you can select the whole object, click on the trim command or type the trim command, and then delete the leftover line, okay? Try not deleting this so you don't miss your work. So now you have your square, but you need 3 of those. So I'm gonna select my square, and then I'm gonna use the copy command on the modify panel. I'm gonna click one corner, and I'm gonna make a copy of it. I'm gonna make 2 copies of it, okay? Now the next thing is to put them on the center, which is kind of hard because if you start doing that, you don't know where the center is, even if you have snaps on or the ortho mode on. So what I do is to do guidelines and then move the squares on the center. That's why I added the guidelines file. So as you can see, they're offsetted 3.25 inches on each side. So that's what we're gonna be doing. And on the sides, there's 2 inches and 1 inch, okay? So I'm gonna switch my layers to the red layer. I'm gonna double click that, and now I'm gonna be doing red lines. So I'm gonna click on line, do one on the top, and then do one on the sides, okay? Just making sure, okay. So I'm gonna do a line on the other side. And now I'm gonna offset this lines 3.25 inches. And this one on the top, I'm gonna offset that line 1 inch. And then I'm gonna offset it one more time, 2 inches. Now offset 1 inch, 2 inches. That's where your squares are gonna be. Oops. So that's one thing. When you type offset, it's gonna show you the previous offset you did. So as you can see, it's 1 inch. So I'm gonna change that to 2 inches. And then offset 1 inch. Now offset 2 inches. Okay. So now you have a guideline, and I'm gonna select the squares. I'm gonna click on the move command. I'm gonna select specify a base point on the square. I'm gonna do one corner so it's easier for you to move it. As you can see, it's not letting you move it anywhere on your screen, just on 90-degree angles because you have your ortho mode on. So please go ahead and turn that off. It shouldn't be blue anymore. And now it's letting you move it anywhere you want to. So I'm gonna select the corner and then add it to the center. I'm gonna select the next one, click on one side, and then put it on the upper one, and then the last one, okay? I'm gonna select it, click on move, specify the base point or select one corner, and then I'm gonna drag it to the last square. Now, the last thing you have to do is delete all the guidelines. You don't need them anymore. So you left click your screen and then you drag it and select all the lines. Now, don't select the squares because you're gonna delete them, just select the lines, okay? And don't select the ones on the side as well because you're gonna delete the one on the bottom, on the back. So I'm just gonna select the ones in the middle, delete them with your delete keyboard, your delete key, and then I'm gonna select the ones on the side and I'm gonna delete them too. All right. The only thing missing is to write your name, the class, and the period. So in order for you to do that is go to the annotate options here on the top. So right now you're on the home, and then there's insert and annotate and a lot of other ones. So you're gonna select annotate. Wait. Okay, ignore that. So you're gonna select annotate, and then you're gonna click multi-line text. Okay. Now you're gonna click the corner of your rectangle and then the end of your rectangle. Okay. And you're gonna type your name. I'm gonna type Perla Palomino. My text is gonna show in red because the last layer that I used was the red layer. So I'm gonna change that to white. And I'm gonna click on my name. And then I'm gonna go to the home ribbon and I'm gonna change that to white, okay? Guidelines, 0, okay. If you wanna center your name so it looks better, I'm gonna select you select your name and then you click on the move command, you click on your name and then you move it to the middle. So I'm gonna do that two more times to do this one here. So it's gonna be design and drafting. And then one more time for the period, okay? So it's gonna be 06P. Now I'm just gonna center this, okay? And there you go. There you go, there's your project document. Okay, so the last thing is to put your logos on each square. How do you do that? I'll show you. So if you have your logos in another Autocad document, make sure you open it and you're gonna copy them and put them here. So let's say that, I don't know, this is your logo. Let me make one real quick. So let's say this is your logo, okay? I'm just gonna scribble a quick logo. All right, so let's say this is your logo and you wanna use this in your new drawing, in your project drawing. So I'm gonna select it, I'm gonna copy it, I'm gonna click on my keyboard, Control-C, and then I'm gonna go to the new document and I'm gonna click on my keyboard, Control-V. And then it's gonna ask you specify insertion point, sorry. So I'm gonna click on my screen anywhere. And it's going to be bigger probably or smaller than your construction or your project template. And you have to scale it down. So you're going to select your logo. You're going to drag your mouse. And you're going to, now if you drag your mouse, this is also important. If you drag your mouse on the green with the green option on the left, it's going to select everything. But if you only drag it with the blue one that it's on the right side, it's going to select only a couple of things on your AutoCAD file. Okay, so green is for everything on the left, and then blue is just for a couple stuff. So I'm going to select everything. I'm going to click on scale, and then I'm going to specify a base point. So if you have your snaps on, it's probably going to let you look for the middle of your circle. Yes, if you're doing a logo that has a circle. So I'm going to click on the center. And now I want to scale that down. So as you can see, it's showing my logo super big on the screen. So to have a better control of the scale option, you're going to type REF, and then you're going to click enter. And then you're going to click each side of your logo because it's asking you like a length. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to click here. And now it gives you a better, like a better reach of it or opportunity to move. So I want to make it smaller. To have a specific size, you can type it down. So I'm going to type 1.5 inch. Or 1.5 inches, sorry, and then I'm going to type enter. And this is going to be the size of your new logo. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to copy it, or you can just move it instead of copying. I'm going to select it. I'm going to click move. I'm going to specify a base point here. And now I'm going to put it on my square. Okay, and that's how you do your final project. Do you guys have any questions or concerns? Feel free to ask me. Or if this is really confusing still, you can watch or read the PDF that I send you and use that PDF to do the project. It also explains how to do this. All right. Hopefully this helps and that my accent is not so strong for you guys to don't understand. I'll see you guys in the next class. Okay. Bye-bye.